Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Franchise Hour. We are already now in season 3, and this is the first episode. And today we don't have any guests, but I will be talking about franchising and trademarking your own business. And I'll explain you how all of this works now. First of all, I'm introducing myself. I'm Rudolf Kotik. I'm an Austrian and an HRM graduate. And the moment I graduated, I was hired, it was way back 1978, I was hired by a US food giant who started the Europe operation then. And I was one of the management trainees for the franchise division. So this is how it all started way back 1978, and until today, I'm still into franchising. After the food giant, I joined a hotel chain, became the franchise director for Europe. Then I joined the franchise consultancy, and in 1995 I came to the Philippines permanently. And so far, I opened Active Franchise Consultancy, first in Cebu and then in Manila. And so far, we developed more than 700 Filipino companies into franchise systems. We also have a web portal, franchise.ph, if you want to look for franchise opportunities. We also the organizer of the Cebu Franchise Expo since the year 2000, the Mindanao Franchise Expo for 16 years, the Iloilo Franchise Expo, and the Palawan Franchise Expo. All of them will happen this year in October, November, virtual, of course, this year. And we also the publisher of the Franchising PH magazine. You can read it. It was launched last year as a virtual magazine. You can read it at www.franchising.ph. And of course, we're a member of the Philippine Franchise Association, Filipino International Franchise Association, and the Vanity Association of the Philippines. Of course, this presentation is copyrighted, and the content of this is ours. And if you want to use any of the contents, kindly ask for our permission. So let's talk about business format franchising, because this is 99.9% of all franchises are business format franchises, which actually contractual relationship between the two parties, the franchisor with the OR at the end who sells the franchise, the franchisee with the double E at the end who buys the franchise. And the franchisor allows the franchisee to use the business system, the trademark, and the corporate identity for the period of time of the contract. And the franchisee, of course, purchases the experience and expertise of the franchisor. Legally speaking, every franchisee is an independent entity. So every franchisee has to get their own mayor's permit. They have to get their own BR registration. Okay, they cannot tap the one from the franchisor. And of course, the franchisor controls the products and services that the franchisee are permitted to sell. The franchisor also controls the operating assets, goods, and services utilized by the franchisee through the procurement program. Also, the franchisor grants the exclusive and protected territory. So there's a certain radius around the franchise facility where the franchisor will not award any other franchise. In franchising, we also talk of an exclusive relationship, meaning to say the franchisee is not allowed to compete with the kind of business the franchisor is doing. And of course, every franchisee has to secure their own location. So what does a franchise provide when you sell a franchise? This is what you give with your franchise to your franchisee. The system standards, the way to operate, the use of the trademark, the experience and the wisdom of the franchisor, a copy of the operations manual, training per se is part of the franchise fee, the site selection assistance, to inform the franchisee on what kind of locations they have to be looking for. And then, of course, the location approval. The store layout, the construction supervision. In our case, the bigger tickets like Felix Petroleum or National Bookstore, Jerry Street, they have in-house architects to look after the locations and the exclusive territory. All of this is part of the franchise. I will not talk too much about the trademarks today because next Thursday we have a seminar about the trademark as part of the franchise hour. Our trademark specialist, Sofia Malaco, will explain how the trademark works. So I'll only talk a little bit about it. So the trademark is used to differentiate goods and services, which can be expressed in the word, a group of words and services, a sign, symbol, logo, a 3D container, or combination of them. And it's a mark visible, capable to distinguish the goods or services of an enterprise and should include a stamped or marked container of goods. In other words, a signage. Okay. Now, if you have a SSC or TTI, this is not enough to be a franchisor. SSC or TTI allows you only to do business by yourself. Okay, to enter into contract, but does not protect you, does not protect your sign, does not protect your logo. And you cannot file any infringement to the trademark if you did not file for a trademark. All right. So to utilize the intellectual property code, you have to file for a trademark. So that's why we say the 3 G's of the importance of a trademark, because it grants exclusive, generate goodwill, and gain recognition and reputation. And of course, the trademark can be a marketing tool, is used to franchise and license it out. You can also use it as a collateral in some countries. And you can assign it for value. In other words, you can sell it also. All right. As I said earlier, we have a complete franchise hour next week about the trademark, how to get it, and how it works. All right. So let's continue with the franchise. So the royalty payments, of course, are very important also for any franchisor to make continuously money out of the franchises. So this is for the continuation use of the trademark, for the continuation of assistance by the franchisor, for the availability of the franchisor in case of assistance needed by franchising, and payable monthly, and of course based on gross sales. Gross sales in franchising means total sales minus tax, minus service fees, minus senior citizen discount, and also today minus delivery charges if it's a food business and they engage Grab Food or Food Panda, etc. Advertisement wise, there are up to 4 schemes where a franchisee has to participate with the franchisor. First of all, the grand opening marketing. This is what the franchisee spends to make the awareness of the business. Then, when they open it, then regularly the local store marketing. So both of it paid directly by the franchisee, not paid to the franchisor. The group advertisement is when a group of franchisees have a joint advertisement campaign, for example, a billboard. And the National Advertisement Fund is the only one which is actually operated by the franchisor for TV ads, radio ads, broadsheet ads, or national online content. Geographically, we talk of 3 types of franchises. First of all, the unit franchise. The unit franchise means 1 contract, 1 outlet. Normally 5 to 10 years for a store franchise agreement. Sometimes we start at 3 years with carts, 4 years with kiosks. There is no 1 year or 2 years. Only the scammers are giving 1 year and 2 year contracts. All right. An area franchise, as the name says, you give a territory. This can be a city, can be a province, but still within the Philippines. And the franchisee gets, for the exclusivity of the territory, a development program. and has to open a number of outlets in a certain period of time. That's what we call the development program. All right. Of course, the contract for an area franchise is longer because of the development time. And then the third geographical type is the master franchise, wherein the franchisor awards the rights to the whole country. Normally, no franchise below 10 years in master franchise for a whole country. Normally, it goes at least 15 or 20 years even. All right. And also, the franchisee is allowed to probably sub-franchise, meaning to say, as the master franchisee, he becomes the franchisor for his country. And there's a development program dictated by the franchisor to the franchisee, and that depends on how big the country is. If it's a small country, we have, for example, one of my clients, the development program for Bahrain is only 2 outlets, for Oman it's 3, and for Saudi it's 15. Okay, because Saudi is much bigger than the other 2 countries. So it really depends on the size of the country. However, more than 30 of my clients have already franchises outside the Philippines. So this is also a very attractive way for Filipino companies to expand anywhere in the world through master franchising. Very important today also is that every franchisor gives a franchise disclosure information to their applicants. This is required from the TTI, the Bureau Order 1024, what we follow, and that contains the company details, the menu, services, the product list, prices, the initial investment, and the projected P&L. A copy of the trademark. Also a copy that the franchisor is a member of an association, so that he's a legitimate franchisor, he's not a scammer. And of course, also a list of the company's franchise outlets and the legal files, a copy of the MOA and the franchise agreement. This franchise disclosure information is given only to applicants who have been approved as prospective franchisee. Now let's talk a little bit about the franchise agreement. Every franchise agreement is different. A good franchise agreement, as I said earlier, is at least 3 years for a cart, 4 years for a kiosk, and 5 years for a store. And longer for an area franchise agreement, actually. So that's a minimum period of time. So the length in pages, I would say it starts at 25 up to 60 pages. All right, so it really depends what we have to include. So I'll tell you now the topics, because every franchise agreement is tailored to our clients. So here are just the topics what we discussed there. First of all, the appointment and the franchise fee, how much he has to pay upon signing of the franchise agreement. Second is the length of the agreement and the renewal clause. I find it very important that every franchise agreement has a renewal clause, so that's what franchisee and franchisor know what will happen by the time the franchise expires. So we have a renewal clause to make sure that the franchisee has the right to renew, provided it's updated with the payments, it's updated with the looks, it's updated with the training. He is, in other words, a good franchisee. If he's a good franchisee, by all means, he should have the right to renew. Then we talk about the facility locations, the equipment, fixtures, and furniture, training and assistance by the franchisor, the rules about the trademark, also the rules about the operations manual. And of course, the modification of the system. That means if the franchisor changes something, the franchisee are forced to change it as well. And the rules about the advertising. As I said earlier, we have 4 schemes: the grand opening marketing, the local store marketing, the co-op, and the national advertisement fund. Not all franchisors operate all 4. Definitely, the national advertisement fund is only for those who are already working on a bigger scale. For new franchises, the local store marketing and the grand opening will do. Then we have in the franchise agreement the royalty fee, how to pay it, when to pay it, and then the accounting and records, especially if there is a POS system involved. And all the standards and quality of performance we expect the franchisee to follow. Then the operating assistance provided by the franchisor. The rules about the insurance. Then the covenants rule. Covenants means exclusivity, meaning to say a franchisee is not allowed to have the same kind of business what he is franchising on the side by himself or another franchise. Then all the reasons why a franchisee can be in default and terminated. This can be for not paying the landlord, for not paying the franchisor, for not following procedures. So many reasons why. Normally, we don't immediately terminate a franchise. We have a procedure called curing. Okay. So if so, we give the franchisee time to cure himself. It's like when you're sick, you give him medicine. In franchising, you get a notice of cure. However, if that doesn't work, the franchisee does not cure himself, then the franchisor can take over. And worst case scenario, termination. Then we have the rights and duties of parties upon termination. So here it regulates what the franchisee or former franchisee then has to do when he gets terminated. Transferability of interest means in plain English, the franchisee can sell his business. How to do that is all in that paragraph. So theoretically, he can do it. He has to find his own buyers. He has to introduce the buyer to the franchisor. If the franchisor approves, then it's a go. And then they execute the transfer and release agreement. And then the new franchisee can actually continue the same contract period for the franchisor, okay, to the original franchisee. All right. Also, if the franchisee dies or is incapacitated, the heirs can take over and they can continue operating it, or they can sell it in accordance to the transferability rule. The franchisor has always the right of first refusal. All right. Other legal agreements, we have a memorandum of agreement, which is a pre-contract. We always use this today. Agreement with the landlord between the franchisor, franchisee, and the landlord to secure the location for the franchisor, sorry. Then a guaranteed assumption of obligation. We use this in particular if the franchise is given as a gift, let's say for graduation. And then the transfer and release agreement if the franchise is sold. So we have a tripartite agreement between the franchisor, the new franchisee, and the old franchise. So, now it's a question, you have a business, you want to franchise out. Is your business franchisable? If your business is in operation for at least 1 year, or is beyond the trial and error stage, or has achieved its payback period. If the business can be copied according to the systems, because we have to follow the rules in franchising. And of course, it has to be proven profitable. The business type has credibility to its clients, and there has to be a need of that business in other places. In practical words, with our case, we say you can franchise your business, A, if you are beyond the trial and error stage, and B, you're profitable. The rest we can actually fix. Don't franchise your business if you don't have a prototype. You need at least one outlet for the purpose of showing it off to your prospective franchisees, and also for training, and also for research and development. If your business is failing, you might be thinking along with the franchises, might be thinking along with you if you're failing. Also, if the business depends too much on yourself, especially if it depends on your brains, we cannot Xerox that. If gross margins are too small, it cannot be compensated by high volume. Or if products are a fad, because if it's a fad, it will be gone in 2 years. If the skills levels are too high that we cannot teach it in maximum 3 months time. And if you do development by yourself, all right. For the fad, a lot of people were asking me if the milk tea are a fad, and I say no, the milk tea are here to stay because they have been very essential to the pandemic actually. You know, the pandemic was the proof the milk tea industry that they will be surviving. Maybe not everybody in the industry because there's so many players now, but definitely the ones who are into franchising, they will be surviving. So what are the advantages of being a franchisor? To receive franchise fee, to collect royalties. You can gain from selling to franchise, especially if you have a commissary operation. You can expand the brand at the speed you want to grow. We have clients who are very slow. They're happy if they have a franchisee every 3 years. And we have others who open every week one. Same with the locations. We have clients who live in a shell. They only want to franchise in their province, or they only want to franchise in the island, especially in Mindanao. We have a lot of brands in Mindanao who don't want to franchise in Manila. And to expand, you use OPM, other people's money. And of course, you're less direct involved in the operation. You can leveraging on a recognized brand name. You see what Inyapsia did when he sold Mang Inasal to Jollibee. You can really leverage a huge amount on the trademark. The trademark has a prominent name. So you can enhance also your business image if you're a franchisor. And from the operation side, you can ensure consistent quality and attain higher productivity because you can work on economies of scales, therefore also reducing risk of failure. And the stronger your brand is, the better you get good location success. You know, especially in the mall operations. Look at who has the best locations in malls. Always the big brands because they draw in the people. So this is what has to be done if you want to develop your business into a business, into a franchise. And this is what we do for our clients. First of all, a franchise structure. I do this actually for our clients. I do this personally because here comes my 40 years in franchising. We calculate franchise fees and royalties, the lengths of agreement, investment package, the payback period, space requirements, and also the logistic requirements. Then we provide all our clients a franchisor manual. This is a guide on how to find franchisees, how to treat them, how to teach them, and has a lot of information, particularly written by us for our franchisor clients. And I assigned one of my developers to prepare the operations manual, which is broken down into sub-manuals, like the pre-opening manual, all what a franchisee has to do before opening the business, the administrative manual about employees, from hiring to firing, and about the money, specialty manuals, let's say like kitchen manuals for restaurants, or barista manuals for coffee shops, or for salons, the protocols, service protocols. Then the operating standard manual from opening to closing, some training manual, and forms and reports. And of course, today also, we have the COVID-19 operations manual, how to operate it during the pandemic. On the legal side, we prepare usually 10 contracts or so. Franchise agreement, memorandum of agreement, agreement with landlord, guaranteed assumption, the transfer lease agreement, of course, area agreement, and master franchise agreement. And also for co-ownership, if the franchisor engages in ownership master franchising, co-ownership franchising, we prepare that one as well. On the marketing side, our graphic team, we have in-house graphic team. We prepare the franchise brochure, the franchise marketing kit. Then we provide, of course, a franchise website also, because a lot of OFWs are buyers of franchises. And of course, the franchise disclosure information as it's required from the TTI. And we also help our clients in securing of the trademark, marketing assistance. Also with applicants, you know, we can help our clients talk to the applicants. You talk about your business, we talk about the franchise. And of course, all our RT clients are member of FIFA, Filipino International Franchise Association. and we provide lifelong free after service. We also feature them in our franchise portal, franchise.ph, and in our magazine. For our provincial franchisors, we also offer them office assistance in Manila. They can meet the franchise applicants in our office after the pandemic again. And we have yearly membership meetings, which we since this year we're doing them virtual. Like all our trainings, we're doing everything virtual today when it comes to training and almost all the meetings. Inside of the business format franchising, we have some alternative forms. Of course, we have also the product franchise, but the product franchise is less than 1% of all franchises. So this is mostly used in the car industry and in the beverage industry. Alternative business form, which are more often used, are the licensing arrangement. You know, in franchising, we have 100% uniformity. If the 100% uniformity is not applicable or not advantageous, then we're using a licensing arrangement. We're also using licensing arrangements mostly when we come off apps. You know, a lot of the apps today are also licensed out. So when we do that one, we usually use licensing arrangement. Transfer of technologies, or we can be limited to a certain task or doing business, okay? So not 100% unlike in the franchise. Sometimes we also package it like a franchise, but what is legally signed is a dealership agreement. And here we are talking about gasoline stations. Let's say like among my clients, Phoenix Petroleum or Flex Fuel or Mars Fuel or Powerfill or Blue Energy or Nitro Fuel. All of them are legally dealerships, even though they're packaged like franchises. Distributorship packages we do as well, which are particularly used in the cosmetic industry. They have a distribution channels and then a level below for the resellers. So we are doing that as well. So all these alternatives, business forms, we are helping also our clients achieve progress and higher sales there. If you want to franchise your business, please get in touch with us. Call our office and talk to Shay or Reg. Our numbers are 8912-2946 or 8912-2973. These are Manila numbers. Or our cell phone number is 0917-874-3620 or 0933-864-2552. So we have more than 22 years we are already in existence, and we provide you with the franchise structure, the operations manual, marketing materials, the contracts, and the side agreements, the franchise disclosure information, the franchise website, franchisor manual, and we be forever and ever your franchise consultant. Of course, you become a member of the Filipino International Franchise Association. And of course, the consultation is free. If you want to read more about franchising, you can also request my book all about franchising. More than 100 pages. It's available free as a PDF format book. And we gladly send it to you. All right, all you have to do is request it, contact us, and we send you the book all about franchising. You can also read our magazine, Franchising.ph. It's a virtual magazine, more than 50 pages. This month, April 2021, we are featuring Mabuhay Nursing Home as the anchor feature, and then we have several speakers, writers who are contributing to our magazine, including yours truly. So, if you look for a franchise, you can read franchising.ph. You can look at our web portal, franchise.ph. And we have also some franchisors whom we help in particular. You can take a look at them at wefranchise.ph. Also, for your trademark, to protect your intangible assets, we can help you. You call our association, Franchise Association, FIFA. You can email them at info@franchiseassociation.biz, or you call 0917-860-9329 or 0933-864-2553. You can look at the website, trademarkph.com. You want to learn more about franchising, or you want to listen to all the episodes of the 3 seasons, or the previous 2 seasons of the Franchise Hour, they are on YouTube and in our channel. So you go to the RK Franchise channel and you can view all the seminars we had and all the franchise hours and all the franchise export events, what we did since last September when we opened the channel. So, and if you're interested to have your business developed, or you want some information about these call us, talk to Reg or Shay. The number is 02 for Manila, 8912-2946, 8912-2973. Cellular Globe, 0917-874-3620, or Sun, 0933-864-2552. If you call from abroad, if you're listening from abroad, because we do franchise development in 35 countries, you can contact us through 0917-321-5235, Facebook, RK Franchise Consultancy. Our email is rk@rkfranchise.com. And I would like to thank you for listening. And next Thursday we have we have our trademark specialist, Mr. Sokri Malako, and he will be talking about how to get a trademark and the importance of a trademark. So please join us next Thursday again, and every Thursday thereafter at 4 p.m. here at the RK Franchise Consultancy on Facebook, or at Rudolf Kotik, or at the page of the Franchise Hour, or any other channel which is by us. Thank you so much for listening for today. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.